Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to my blog featuring environmental science. I'm Aloni and I'm here again. So today we're going to tackle about nutrient cycle, discuss its definition, types, overview process, and in line with human activities. Like what is the impact of human activities to the nutrient cycle? Nutrient cycle. When we think of a cycle, it means it is a series of events that are regularly repeated in same order. This means that the nutrients in a place were consumed, recycled, produced, and then consumed, recycled, produced again. Nutrient cycle is a cycle on how nutrients move from the physical environment into living organisms and subsequently are recycled back to the physical environment. This occurs as animals and plants consume nutrients found in soil, and these nutrients are then released back into the environment via death and decomposition. Nutrient cycle is also known as biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle is any of natural pathways by which essential elements of living matter are circulated. The term biogeochemical is a contraction that refers to the consideration of the biological, geological, and chemical aspects of each cycle. There are four types of nutrient cycles: carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, and hydrologic cycle or cold water cycle. Carbon cycle. Carbon is considered one of the main constituents of all living organisms. It is present as methane and carbon dioxide. Carbon is exchanged continuously by the process of respiration and photosynthesis in between living organisms and non-living organisms. By the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is fixed in the atmosphere by plants. By the process of respiration, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere by living organisms. By the burning of fossil fuels, carbon is released into the atmosphere. After the decomposition of dead and decaying matter, organic carbon is released into the atmosphere. Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is an essential component of life. Living organisms cannot consume nitrogen directly. Instead, it has to be converted into other organic compounds. Nitrogen is converted into the other forms in different ways as they are. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia, and the nitrifying bacteria convert ammonia to nitrate. This converted nitrate is absorbed by plants. Atmospheric nitrogen can be directly converted into nitrates by lightning. Decomposers break proteins and amino acids of the dead organisms. The process of conversion of ammonia into nitrogen and nitrates into nitrous oxide by the denitrifying bacteria is called denitrification. Oxygen cycle. Oxygen is the essential element for all life processes. Oxygen is used for the decomposition of waste products. The main source of oxygen present in the atmosphere is photosynthesis. In the process of respiration, living organisms take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. The released carbon dioxide is used by plants during the process of photosynthesis. Aquatic organisms take the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. Hydrologic cycle or water cycle. The water from all the reservoir is converted into vapors by the process of evaporation. Waters from the plant surface is converted into vapor by the process of transpiration. The water vapor is condensed and returned to the atmosphere by precipitation. Then the cycle is continued. The water returns to the land surface in the form of rain, and it is stored as groundwater. And these groundwaters contains nutrients. Nutrient cycle links living things and non-living things with one another. Hence, we can conclude that the nutrient cycle is the most important process that occurs in the ecosystem. What is the impact of human activities to the nutrient cycles? Nutrients are continuously recycled in a natural ecosystem. In recent decades, population growth and resulting human activities such as large-scale farming have caused some significant changes in nutrient cycles. Furthermore, agriculture also influences the nutrient cycle in other ways. Agriculture accelerates land erosion because plowing and tilling disturb and expose the soil, so more nutrients drains away with runoff. Essentially, the human alteration to the nutrient cycle leads to an excess of nutrients in aquatic ecosystems and a serious lack of nutrients in agriculture. Some human activities that affect the nutrient cycles are deforestation, plastic production, emission of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, destruction of the reefs, production of black carbons, and many other things. Worldwide, more and more soils are depleted of nutrients, with serious consequences to agricultural production and food security. The lack of nutrients in agriculture is often made up by applying artificial fertilizers. However, there are still several problems that relate to these strategies. Essentially, the problem with the human alteration to natural nutrient cycle is the one that we are extracting nutrients from the soil and discharging them essentially in aquatic environment. This leads to a heavy imbalance with severe consequences. As a human, we are the beneficiaries of ecosystem. So how can we restore Earth's nutrient cycle? A few steps taken by humans can help in maintaining the nutrient cycles in the ecosystem is to avoid phosphorus fertilizers and nitrogen fertilizers. Avoid deforestation and clearing of vegetation to increase the carbon sinks and decrease the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration. Prevention of acid rains, burning of coal, and livestock ranching. Reduce vehicle pollution and overall reduction in pollution. In this way, we can help our ecosystem to get more better. We also should know the importance of nutrient cycles. Nutrient cycling is important for the transformation of nutrients from one form to another. It helps to store the nutrients for future use. Living organisms can interact with abiotic components through it. Nutrients can be transferred from one place to another. Remember that a world without nutrient cycle, life would not be properly sustained without them being recycled. Nutrients would be locked in dead bodies and waste and would not be available to organisms in a usable form. Since these cycles are closed systems, no more nutrients will be added to them. This means that our ecosystem will die without the nutrient cycle. And so that's for now. I hope you understand today's lesson, and if you like it, leave a like and subscribe for more video update. You can also suggest in the comments and share if you find the info helpful.